everybody. So, sorry that last video was so late. I thought I put it up and apparently I put it to private and it was supposed to be public so that you all could see it. But hey, I'm back and trying to catch up for week, I don't know, what is this, 5 maybe? Is this week 5? On our stitch along for our sampler. So here's my work in progress, and I'll let you look at this a little closer in a minute. But doesn't it look nice? I love how it's coming along. I mean, it kind of looks like a sweater, and I mean, I can see where I have definitely improved as I have worked from one side to the other, but that's okay. That's okay. That's kind of the point of this, is to learn and to get better so that you can continue to improve as you go along. I did kind of do all the chain stitching. I think you can see that in the center of the sweater, because I'm not going to lie, I was really in the groove and enjoying it, so I did it all. And I really like the chain stitching. I don't know why. It's kind of fiddly. I don't like Cretan stitch, I'll tell you that, but I really like to chain stitch. So anyway, we're going to take a look at this and get started on the next section, which is the cuffs and the collar, which we will be doing in that spider stitch. So we're going to play with spider stitch again today. I think we're only going to, I'll probably do like the cuff and, you know, maybe show you the bottom of the sweater or something to get started. But it does take quite a bit of time to do that spider stitch. So we'll get started on it and we'll talk about it, and I'll tell you my strategies. And then yeah, I'll let you stitch along and we'll see what happens next week. So, all right, here we go. Let's turn it down and take a look. So I have gone ahead and tightened my hoop. I do still have some thread left over from the last section of chain stitching that I did, but let's take a little closer look at that. Here we go. Now you can clearly see some of my chain stitching is better than others, and on my doubles, where I was doing these double chain stitches, where I was trying to follow sort of the inside and the outside of the lines, I did better at the bottom than the top. So I really got into my groove as I went along. You can see in the original, so here's the original, that she has more space in between her double cables, and so she was probably doing a little tighter, a little smaller chain stitch than I did, but I still like mine. It looks like a cable. I can see how it flows, and I can see how I improved as I went along, because this was my first one. And then I did my doubles and I did my single over here. And then I went along and I did all of my little chain stitches here in between. And I can see how I tightened up and I got closer together as I went along. So I guess what I need to be saying is do your practice stitches and then go straight into stitching, because if you wait too long, you forget what you were doing. Or just make some notes to yourself. Like, you could take your little embroidery stitching book here and go to the chain stitch section. And because where's chain stitches? Hang on, let me find it. Blanket, there it is. And you could go to chain stitches and you could put like a little note in the margin here that says something along the lines of, you know, for tidier chain stitching, make sure that you make them very tiny or something, whatever. So, you know, we do have these back in stock too if you're looking for them. I have 3 or 4 copies. Again, I really like having these little embroidery stitching guides. It is the handy pocket guide. I throw it in my bag and then I have it ready when I need it. And I do have larger, I shouldn't say that. I have lots of stitch dictionaries. I have kind of, I'm a bit of a collector of stitch dictionaries. But this little handy pocket guide is nice for a lot of the basic stuff, so I'll throw that out there. But we do have others too if you're looking for more of those stitch dictionaries, and they're all up on the website because I've been working really hard to get it all up on the website. Anyway, so let's get back to what we're doing. Here is our PDF. Here's our guide, and it says that we're going to do our cuffs and collar next. So to do our cuffs and collar, we have to do the spider stitch. And if you recall, the spider stitch is made by doing long straight stitches first, and then going back in and wrapping your thread And we are going to have a little bit of fun, I think, today, doing a cuff and getting started. So let me see here. So I'm just looking at my back, and look, my back's kind of a mess. Your embroidery should look better than this. But I kept moving across and working instead of cutting, and so that's what you get. It doesn't look terrible, but it should be a little tidier. Your embroidery should be a little tidier. But you know what? I've really enjoyed myself. I've had a lot of fun. Okay, so I can see that I am closest to this side. So I think I'm going to go ahead and come over here, and I am going to use, let's see, how many rolls does she have on there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I know what I'll do. I'm going to go just outside of my lines because that'll make 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 if I go right along the outside of this one. So I'm going to make my 5 lines here. And this spider stitch kind of reminds me of a bullion stitch, but you do the wrapping different. I guess that didn't make any sense to you probably. So it reminds me of the bullion stitch because with the bullion stitch you wrap a lot of wraps around your needle and then you stitch it down. But with this one we kind of make like a base and then we do all the wrapping around the base, which I think is very interesting. It's very intriguing. Oops. Sorry, I'm listening to Marshmallow behind me. And, here, hang on. Just a second. I don't know if you can see. There's Marshmallow. Yoo-hoo. Marshmallow. There's Marshmallow. But he's playing with a little piece of foam because that's what he likes to do. Is play with a little piece of foam. So, silly cat. All right, sorry, back to this. Okay, so I've got 3 in. This one's going to be number 4. And then for number 5, I'm going to go just outside. That's my goal. Just outside. Right there. Okay. And now that I have all of my straight stitches in, and this looks like it's too wide for the sweater right now, but when we do that chain stitch edging around the sweater pieces, it'll all fit together again. So that's why I decided, I went ahead and looked at her, her sample, and I'll show you there on her sample. I can see how there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wraps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wraps. So that's why I'm going to do mine the way I'm doing it. And then you can see once you put that chain stitching in around the edge, it looks, you know, fuller, looks bigger. Anyway. So we have our base in, and now we have to go in and we have to wrap. And when we do that, we have to switch our needle around and use the back end so that we are not splitting the threads with our sharp point. But first we have to get to the front side. So I'm actually going to come in over here. All right. And now this is where I have trouble because I have to remember that we're going to go under this first one so that we are in position. And now, let's see if I get this right. Go under this one. And when I do that and pull it down, is it wrapping in the correct direction? No. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Okay, so if you guys do this, you can back it out. I know what I did wrong. I have to go under 2. All right, so first I went under, and now I have to actually wrap this one. I'm going to go under and wrap. Ha-ha! Okay. Now I should have gone under 2, so we're going to set up for this one. There we go. All right, now we're set up. This is what I screw up each time. So in order to get our wraps on top, you have to make sure that your thread is in the correct position. Uh-oh, that might be my husband coming home. So you have to make sure that your wraps are in the correct position. And what you're going to do is move your needle under both of those strands at the same time, because then that is going to wrap the first one and set you up for the second one. So under 2, and see how that little curl comes down and sets right on the top? Yeah. Under 2. Again, it comes down, sets right on the top. And then under the last one, and this one, of course, we've already wrapped, and we can't do a second strand because there aren't 2 strands to do. So this is our first row here on this spider stitch, and I am going to kind of scooch it down a little bit. And now we need to just sort of park our thread. So I'm just going to put it through the fabric, park the thread, because we want to come up on the other side again. Let's see if I can get it in. And we are going to wrap again. And remember, use the eye to go backwards and under that first strand. There we go. And now we're going to go under 2 each time. So under 2, pull it tight. Under, uh-oh, I only got under 1 there. Under 2, and pull it tight. Under 2, pull it tight. I'm just going to scoot these down, and then again go under that very last one so that I have a nice wrap all the way across. And then I'm just going to take my needle, kind of park it in the end of that strand, and there we go. We're getting a nice little wrap. And now, through the power of fast forwarding, I am going to stitch this on camera and then just zoom through it for you. Because you know what to do. We've already practiced it once, and I can see that this is definitely wrapping and filling, and it's going to look really, well, it's going to look a lot like a knit and purl rib on a cuff on a sweater. So here we go. So there we go. I've got one little cuff in, and as you could see, this last little bit was a little hard to get in. So you do have to be careful about where you are starting and stopping each of your rows of, what's the word I want? Not twisted stitches, but added stitches? I don't know. Anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep working on the rest of my sweater. So I have my cuff here, the bottom here, and the neckline that all need to have that spider stitch added. And next week when we come back, we will work on kind of the rest of the sweater. This is it. All that we have left are the cuffs and collar, and then the general outline. So I'll talk about how I'm going to chain stitch around that outside, and I think it'll look really, really good when it's all put together. So yeah, we're almost done. All we have left is the little cuff, the bottom of the sweater, our collar, and then that chain stitch outline. All right, guys, keep stitching along. I hope that you're having fun with this little stitch along project. Oh, put up my needle there. And don't forget to go check out the new website and see if there's a little something you want to take home. I do have more of these handy pocket guide embroidery stitching books, and several other really nice embroidery books as well. So if you're looking for something fun, just mentioning, it's up on the website. Make sure that you've liked and subscribed to our Facebook page, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all those good places, and that you're on our newsletter list as well. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.